When a seed is planted in the ground, the seed germinates. A seed contains all the nutrients a plant needs to begin its growth. In order for the seed to become a plant, key environmental factors must be there: water, oxygen, and temperature, at least. The problems that we face as teachers when parents start thinking about some structured instrumental lessons are mostly related to some missing parts in the child's early development and in the environment. Some students are lacking important skills, which weren't acquired at an early age. These students will find it difficult to learn any instrument, and they will eventually quit music, carrying on the belief of not being talented. At this moment, there isn't a theory which explains the question of musical talent and performance, so we won't talk about that. But the main point is that probably the seeds had not been planted at all, or if planted, they had not been nurtured with proper ingredients. For many kids today, the exposure to active music making is often limited to some structured music classes or to music in school. The space for the free discovery and use of sounds, rhythm, and movements is limited or completely missing, unfortunately. If we think about what music is, we might agree that music is a way to express feelings and emotions and to communicate for every human being. And it's learned naturally when immersed in a musical environment. If you consider music as part of being human, music should not be separated from every other activity humans do. In many African cultures, for example, there isn't an actual word for music or dance, as those are integrated in the life of the community. Children need music, not necessarily big or small works, not classical rock or pop music. Children need sounds, especially at an early age, and to move rhythmically. They need it for the development of their senses, for their well-being, for the gradually growing experience of space and time, and for the presentation of musical structures which are anchored in their consciousness. There is a growing body of research that indicates that the best time frame for developing musical skills is from birth to age 9. During this time, the mental structures associated with processing and understanding music are in the prime stages of development. And this is the age we should target. Any kind of skill surely requires a continuous support, but many studies in early childhood development, cognition, and psychology show that informal, non-structured, elementary musical activities can boost the entire development of the child in a special way. Therefore, these first music lessons do not have to be, in fact, and probably shouldn't be, formal at all. Growing a studio also means that we have to plant the seeds, so not only teach the kids when they come to our studio, and have to offer more opportunities to children in our community to informal and unstructured musical exposure. But how, right? So there are two main categories of people who can achieve that in a more effective way. And those two groups should be the target of your activities or extra activities: parents or grandparents and educators. Educating groups of parents will help them in the creation of a musical environment. They will help a child to focus on the music with simple activities like musical games, dancing, singing, or playing any kind of simple instrument. Seminars and workshops for early childhood educators, on the other hand, should encourage the integration of music into the day-to-day life in daycares and preschools. For years, we have focused on directly teaching young kids in a more or less structured way. But if we would like to go with the idea that music should be just part of every activity humans do, as music teachers, we should give up control and seek more effective ways to create a supportive musical community at first. You grow your studio by creating the right environment for the seeds of music to grow. Thank you.